Welcome to the WOEFM. Today, we have the secret to the power of joy. And why is it that we keep getting so close, but not quite there? So, we have today our very own mentor expert and overall incredible guide, Sallie Wagner, your alchemist in all things transformation to your best self. Welcome, Sallie.
Thank you so much, Carolina. It's such a joy to be with you today.
Thank you. You know what? And I think, especially given the holidays that are around the corner, um, I think the topic is so important because, you know, when we get together with family, there's a bit of regression that occurs. Like even if you've managed to work through some of your shadow issues, or when you visit family, I don't know if this happens to everyone, but to me, it's like I feel shorter, like I regress a number of years, and it's embracing even that makes such a difference. So you're so passionate. You are one of the top visionaries and messengers on the topic. So guide us, please.
Okay, happy to. So yes, you're right. Holidays can be a mixed bag for everyone. There's such happiness and joy and all of that celebration around the time. And then there can also be a lot of things that drag us down and drag us back, right? Not everyone had an ideal family. Nobody had an ideal family, right? We all like
sometimes even if your family is great, it's how you fit into
exactly
the dynamic, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you feel like you're out of place, then it's a mix. Dostoevsky, I believe, said, all happy families are happy in the same way, and all unhappy families are unique. A horrible paraphrase, but you get the idea. And even if there wasn't a great deal of trauma, the relationships change, and there can still be some discomfort and some regression. It can bring out all of those wonderful triggers that got installed when we were young, when we're dealing
probably
with
by them.
Yeah, exactly. They know where all our buttons are because they installed them.
Right.
And they know how to push them, and we can be enlightened and joyful and all of that, and yet when we go back to that, we kind of regress. Mm-hmm. And that's the whole shadow part, right? Shadow can be those feelings that we've held on to, even unknowingly. Shadow can be wonderful things that we suppressed, like creativity and assertiveness. And then it can also be those things that we repress because it wasn't okay to act in that way. Or, the older brother, was...
You could be the only creative in a family of academics.
Yeah, of course.
Right? Sometimes it's so innocuous, right? Like you've done nothing wrong, and there's nothing wrong with you. Yeah, just the context.
Yeah, and I experienced that, as a child growing up in a very poor household, and I was totally different from everybody else, and so that feeling of differentness can carry over and have consequences, even when we're all grown up and have wonderful lives, right? And so the key to that is to focus in on joy. And sometimes we're held back because of all of those things that are in the shadow, and yet we can overcome it. And one of the ways is to understand that joy is a choice. Happiness, and we've had these conversations before, the difference between joy and happiness.
But joy, like with me, the word joy is like special dishes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like gusto, right? Because one thing is happiness. I understand it's a choice. Always being able to look for the silver lining, right?
Yeah.
Another one is to actually celebrate life.
Exactly. Exactly. And it is a choice. And so, if you think about the difference between a thermometer and a thermostat. So happiness is the thermometer, and it measures our response to our environment. So if there's weird stuff going on in the environment and we're responding to that, then our happy temperature may go down, right?
Okay.
However, when we're a thermostat and we're expressing joy, then we set the level for our environment. And that's the difference. Are we responding or are we setting? And that's the difference that I see between
Wow, I never
happiness
thought
and
of
joy.
it. And
So
it takes a lot of
it
responsibility and
does.
it takes a lot of courage. And I had a little bit of an aha. As I was preparing all the editorial for us for 2026 and what we're going to do and something fresh, right? We have been blessed. We are blessed with such a loyal and ever expanding audience that
Mhm.
I feel tons of pressure to. It's got to be better, right? It's got to be bigger. It's got to be, and sometimes it takes the joy out of it,
Yeah.
right? And I just had that aha, and in working with all of us and in reviewing, all of our videos and all of material and all of our content in order to put it together, I had that big aha. And I know it's going to sound totally stupid, and I don't like that word, but I am going to use it because I was feeling a little gloomy, and we had gone like 10 days without sunlight, and that kind of has something to do with it.
Yeah.
But I just sat back and I realized, count your blessings, look around, like,
Yes.
every problem you have from, you know, I was taken aback to a little person, because this is an example, right? I was taken aback because I got like a massive water bill from the summer, right? Like silly. And I'm an independent, single dweller in,
Yeah.
in my home, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me! Like, how can I consume that much water, right? Okay, so yeah, I got a sprinkler system, and
Yeah.
there's like other things that contribute to it, I'm sure. But I just realized, like, in the process of those 24 to 48 hours of gloominess, right? Most problems that I have are self-induced, right? And it takes responsibility and it takes courage to say, do better,
Yeah.
right? As simple as that. Like, do better.
Yes, exactly. And it's choosing, not just once, but throughout the day in different moments, because we're challenged. The world is designed, I think, to kind of pull us down, and
Well,
we
that
have to
sells,
be,
right?
yeah, we have to be the force of moving things up into a higher frequency and a more joyful frequency. And so it takes that decision throughout the day. And sometimes it's tiring, because we get tired doing it, and we get hungry and we get hangry and all those kinds of things. And it's difficult to make the choice in the moment.
Yeah.
And yet, and I do it too. I slip. I'm not always, joyful. However, I have that growing awareness that when I'm not, I can take a moment and kind of breathe and get back on track.
And what you just said is very powerful. When you have a contemplative practice, or when you really are the messenger of the skill set
Mm-hmm.
to a better self, better life, it doesn't mean that we don't experience the down. It
Right.
doesn't mean, it just means that we're able to maybe stop it faster when
Yes.
you have the skill set and walk your way back from the ledge,
Yeah.
like figurative ledge, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, because there was one time I was having an absolute meltdown over something, and my friend said, "Well, there's Miss Mindfulness, right?" I'm like, that's not fair,
Yeah.
right? Like, I'm still human. I still, like, And it's actually on all of the healers and the coaches and the mentors, because we have to show up modeling the behavior.
Hmm.
Is in the same with leadership, like in corporate, or if you're the leader of your home, if you're the parent, right? Like, because you're responsible for the wellness and the overall, mental health to the best of your ability of others. A lot of times it means that you suppress yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, we do that. And, we also have this idea that we need to do it perfectly all the time. Um, and that's just not possible, right? And that goes back to some earlier things I've taught about it. It's not what you don't know that holds you back, it's what you do know that's not true that holds you back. And we have all these misconceptions about ourselves that we think are true or should be true, like I'm perfect, I have to be perfect.
Right.
And when we do that, we're putting such a burden on ourselves.
We have
And
to forgive ourselves.
yeah, yeah,
And I love you, and you and I collaborate, and we've been collaborating for so many years now, and I'm proud of it, and I look for many more. But I actually think of you every day, because I did that workshop with you about the ring of fire,
oh yes,
and every single day I put this ring on.
yeah,
I remember you, I remember your words, and I remember the mindset of, if you have not done this practice or this meditation, or skill set with Sallie, I strongly recommend it, because it will change your life. And it's that anchoring, it's that reminder, right? That
exactly.
it takes maturity, to take that responsibility.
Yeah. And you said a couple of interesting words here, mindset, skill set. And that's one of my little slogans that I use: MSG, mindset, skill set, get off your asset. Um, we have to have the mindset. And then many times we have to have new skills. We have to build that skill set, and we have to stack our skills, right? It's not just one skill. We have multiple complementary skills to be able to do these things that we're talking about. And then we got to put it into action.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. We're gonna have you back, because now we one of the programming changes that we've done, expansion that we've done for 2026, is that we have been doing streaming, like 10 to 15 minutes, directed to social media. And that's lovely, of course, and we have, again, such great feedback. But we've actually taken one or two of our titles and expanded them into podcasts, like longer, like an hour to get into it. And we had one recent about vision boards.
Oh,
And the interesting thing is, as I was having such a hard time during that recording, because I didn't realize what an issue I have with them. And it's not that there's anything wrong with vision boards. They're my issues with it. And it wasn't until I was watching the recording for editing after that I'm like, I could not hide my disdain. But the point that I'm trying to say is, it's a point of exploration.
yes,
That's what we're talking about, integrating your shadow, right?
absolutely. Yeah.
Because there's so, and I wish you had been with us, because I am telling you, and I'm sure you'll see it, but I was watching it and I was also embarrassed to air it, because I'm like, I'm the host and I'm the one with the most issue with the topic, right? And but that is important with the self-awareness,
Yeah.
in working with a coach, in a guide, in an alchemist, and in a transformational catalyst like Sallie, right? Because you bring in a fusion. You've got NLP, you've got hypnosis, you've got, traditional. You're a lawyer, so you got your traditional analytical, Socratic kind of methodology
Right.
that you're able to bring to light in pinpoint where you see the shift.
Yes.
in energy, where you see the shift in even in your voice,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we're trained. Like, that's why I'm able to a little bit catch myself, right? But if you're not, and also learn how to identify it in others,
Mm-hmm.
because you know, if somebody in your family or a friend or a coworker or somebody that is affecting your life, you're sensing that there's not an integration, there's not a wholeness, there's not a joy in self, right?
Yeah.
In working with Sallie, you can learn how to help without harming. Because sometimes we want to help, but we harm,
Right.
right? Unintentionally.
Yeah.
So learning to help without harming is as important
Yes.
as knowing what not to do, right? As knowing what to do, but also knowing what.
Yeah, because we do we want to help. We want to, we want everybody to be joyful and happy and all those wonderful good things. And sometimes we just need to give them grace to be where they are, and give ourselves grace to be where we are, and also aspire to higher frequencies and joyful things in our lives.
Absolutely. So thank you, Sallie. You brought a gift. You're always so
Yes.
generous, and we'll put the link below for anybody that wishes to get a sampling. Because after you do, you will connect with Sallie and you will follow her. And she's one of our mentor experts and an author and contributor to our magazines and our books, and all things PwC Global and WOEFM. And we celebrate you. I appreciate you. I cherish you. And thank you for helping us get closer and closer to joy, integration, wholeness, and happiness.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, darling. Until next time.